All right. Quick update. I wish it was good news, but Facebook has, as everyone knows, as you should know, Facebook also owns Instagram. And my Instagram is now shut down. So I don't know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, you can check out the other videos. The quick version is Facebook shut down my account for no reason 2 weeks ago. I set up another account. They shut that down. I have no access to any of my business pages, any of my private groups. I was not expecting them to go after my Instagram. A lot of you guys follow me on Instagram as well. And you guys know I don't post anything controversial on Instagram either. In fact, the stuff that's on Facebook is normally the stuff that I post on Instagram, and I just forward it to Facebook. The only thing that I can think of is today I posted, and watch my YouTube is going to get shut down. The only thing I posted was that it's pretty ridiculous that we're waiting for all these ballots to be counted when we should have a blockchain voting system by now. Vote in person, vote on blockchain. Blockchain is, if you guys aren't familiar with blockchain, that's what cryptocurrency is based off of. It's impossible to fake blockchain. It's impossible to hack blockchain. It would be immediate. It would be foolproof. There'd be no people counting. There'd be no arguments there'd be no recount. It'd be instantaneous. And that's all I was saying, was that it's 2020. We should have a blockchain-based voting system. They've already got patents out there for blockchain-based voting systems. And I just put up a very simple post just saying that. I bet you couldn't even guess which side I'm on politically. And you definitely couldn't guess because it's not mainstream. I've never voted mainstream politics. And that's what they don't like about me. Another thing that I mentioned that was loosely political was that most people in America are probably going to identify with the libertarian perspective, but we're just not allowed to see or hear anything from libertarians. They only want us picking either Democrat or Republican because they want to be able to control us. But I guarantee that 9 out of 10 of you, if you were to look up what libertarians believe in, you'd probably identify with the Libertarian Party, but they don't want us to have a third party. Now, this is the most I've ever said about anything political, but I don't put anything political up. Now I'm just getting frustrated. Now I feel like I'm going to be shut down from all social media for what? I've got a couple thousand followers, all like between all of my platforms. On YouTube, I don't even have 2,000 people. On Instagram, I have just over 1,000 people. Like, it's mainly friends, family, and business contacts. And now my Facebook has been shut down twice without any reason, without any appeals process, with no one to contact. I explained in the last video that I just shot a couple hours ago that I was trying to sneak in through Facebook's wallet by buying their gaming system from them. And hopefully, since I bought their gaming system, they would allow me to get my account back up. I've got no updates from that. And I went on to Instagram and it's shut down. They said that there's going to be a 24 hours before I can review it. They wanted me to verify my cell phone number, which I verified, sent me a text with a code, and I gave it to them. And they said, you can go to the help center after about 24 hours and appeal this decision. Well, if it's anything like Facebook, and I have every reason to believe it's going to be the same, I'm not going to be able to appeal anything. And this is very scary. And I've mentioned this in the other videos. What happens when our Facebook and our Instagram and all of our social media is even more tied to the things that we do? Big tech I'm terrified because I'm not even doing anything wrong. I'm not saying anything controversial. I've never done anything to offend anybody. I really don't know what's going on. All I try to do with my content is be positive and uplift people and get people to look at the fact that, most of my stuff is about business, number one. It's specifically about the meal prep business, nothing controversial. Most people don't even care unless they're looking to start a meal prep company. So, like, what damage am I doing? And all my stuff, all my social media, the only reason I have any social media is for business and for sharing positive stuff. That's all. I don't do anything controversial. If anything, I want to bring people's attention to the fact that we're being divided for no good reason. And love is going to be much more healthy and triumphant in the long run. But I guess that's really what I can't even get into the, I don't even believe that it's intentional. I honestly feel like this is some kind of algorithm, and I did something to trigger something, and now they're like, well, it's his IP address and his Instagram and this Facebook are connected. I don't know why it took them 2 weeks to shut down my Instagram, but this is nuts. Again, if any of my private group members see this, please repost it in the group, because I obviously don't have any access to it. I regained access for like a day or two when I set up a second account, and that was hard enough to do. And then that was immediately shut down because I did it through the same IP address. As I mentioned in the last video, now I have a VPN set up like some kind of paranoid hacker, so that now it looks like I'm, accessing the internet from different countries, and they're still able to, they still went after my Instagram account. I've got my friend, I'm not even going to mention his name because he's got a lot of social media followers, and I don't want him to be associated with any of this stuff, because apparently I'm some blacklisted freaking social media leper. But he suggested that I just start everything from scratch, go on to a VPN. I saw someone commented on my last video just before I went live on this. Someone suggested I go and use the Wi-Fi at like a McDonald's and set up a new account. Sounds great, but like, what happens when I accidentally log on without my VPN on? In fact, right now, is my VPN on? I don't even know. I don't think my VPN's on. So my YouTube's probably next. So I guess the only place you'll be able to contact me once that goes down is through email and smoke signals. You can go to my website, mealprepbiz101.com. I do have all of my videos backed up on, or most of my videos backed up on an external hard drive. Didn't think I'd have to use it, but now I think I'm going to have to move all of my videos and all of my content onto my website and figure out what that process is going to be like. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get to the YouTube audience. People aren't going to be able to find me. So hopefully it'll just be the people who have already subscribed to my email list. And I don't know. I know there's other websites, there's other social media platforms out there, a lot of decentralized stuff that is coming out. Steemit is one of them. It's a decentralized kind of Facebook, kind of Twitter kind of platform. They've got their own cryptocurrency. Seems interesting. The concept is basically, nobody's in charge. We're all in charge. It's all open source, so nobody can shut anybody else down. There are moderators so that if there is offensive content, there's still somebody to lay down the law, but it won't be this crazy Big Brother situation. As I mentioned, they've got their own cryptocurrency. That's how I first heard of Steemit. But looking at the process, like, the future is scary. Like Steemit, they said they have there's like 3 different passwords that you use, or little identifiers, and like one of them you're never supposed to use unless your account's been stolen and you're using it to regain access to your account. Then there's another password that's used to log in, like normal stuff, and then there's another password that's used to do transactions and stuff, because you're able to tip people on Steemit and move their cryptocurrency back and forth. And I guess they've got like a merchant commerce kind of system set up. I don't know. I haven't played with it yet. I was hoping I didn't have to get into it, but that seems like that's what the future is going to be. We're going to have to go to a world of complete transparency or anonymity. There's not going to be this in-between stuff where we're able to have nicknames and these pseudo personalities online. It's going to be complete transparency where we all have like chips in our brain and we're plugged into the neural network and we can see what everyone's thinking and there's no more secrets. Or everybody's going to be on a VPN. Nobody's going to know anybody's name. It's going to be like that Bruce Willis movie where everyone has, I think it's Surrogate, where everyone has like this surrogate robot. They're plugged into some kind of like virtual reality system in their house, locked in their rooms like hermits. No one ever leaves their house anymore. And they just have a robot that goes around, and it might be like, one of them was like, the robot was this hot chick. And then they find out that the dude running the robot was like, it was a dude, like some, big guy eating chips and Hot Pockets all day in his room, never leaving the place. So we're not going to know anybody anymore. It's like so weird. And social media was originally this thing where we're all connecting. And I thought it was an amazing thing. The fact that I'm connecting with people in Australia and the Grand Caymans and Canada and the UK and India and Pakistan and Egypt. I've got followers all over the place. And I thought that was amazing. I don't even have 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm getting people from all over the world who are digging my stuff. They're finding it useful, and it's been super rewarding, and it's been great. And I really appreciate this entire experience. I'm going to figure out a way to keep it going. But if you don't see my social media stuff anymore, if you don't see my Instagram come back up, you don't see my Facebook come back up, you see my YouTube go down, you know what's going on, and look for me other places. I do have videos on LBRY.TV. That's another cryptocurrency based platform. I don't actively engage on there. I basically have something automatically set up so that everything I post on YouTube goes to LBRY, and LBRY is like a YouTube equivalent or very video based. It's LBRY.TV. Again, they have their own cryptocurrency. Maybe that's going to be the way of the future. I didn't understand when I was playing with cryptocurrency. I first got into it years ago, and I got really into it to a point where it was like I was losing sleep. I remember LBRY and Steemit, and I was like, how are these guys going to compete with Facebook? All it's going to take is for Zuckerberg to want to create his own cryptocurrency, and then these guys have nothing. Now I understand, because the cat is out of the bag, the genie's out of the bottle, whatever you want to say, whatever term you want to use. The existing social media platforms are already beyond what can be controlled. They can't be corrected. Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, it's already too late for them. The roots are too deep. So it looks like within the next few years, I think there's going to be more people like me who are going to be frustrated with not doing anything wrong. And that's the thing, is I haven't done anything wrong. I would understand if I've been posting, offensive stuff or a lot of swearing, that's freedom of speech. But if I was posting a lot of stuff regularly that was pushing, fake news or super biased stuff, then I would understand. And I wouldn't be up here ranting about it, because then my comments would be lit up by, well, what did you think was going to happen? You're posting bullshit all day. But this is probably, I swore in the last one, I swore in this one. For those of you who've been following me, you guys don't see me even swear, because I'm normally pretty reserved. And it's just, yeah, Dominique says she should start binge watching all the content now. Yeah, I will. Like I said, I've got it backed up on an external hard drive. So I will be posting it somewhere else. Thank God I have it backed up there. There was one point where it's like, oh, this is kind of ridiculous. When's YouTube ever going to go down? YouTube's not going to go down, but my YouTube account might go down. But yeah, I think there's going to be a new generation of kids who look at Facebook and all this other stuff is just nuts. Because imagine being a young kid and your entire existence is, thank God, I'm able to turn it on and off. But these younger kids, everything they are is Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. And for their friends to start having their accounts shut down, especially when nothing's being done, and then there's no appeals process. That's what's scary, is when you start, if you saw police just arresting the sweet old lady across the street, you're probably going to be like, damn, I need to hide from all the cops now. And that's another issue that we can go into. The main idea is, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to appeal as much as I can, but I am taking the necessary steps to pivot, and I'm going to put my content up somewhere else, and I'll still keep trying and moving forward on YouTube, but it's not going to be my main investment of my time now. I'll find somewhere else with a much smaller audience, but at least I'll feel more comfortable knowing that's going to be an open source, decentralized platform that doesn't have some kind of censorship agenda. I don't think that there's somebody looking at my stuff and going, this is offensive. I think it's an algorithm, and they're just doing stuff in broad strokes. I'm sure they're probably doing the best they can. I know, if I were Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey or any of these guys who are at the head of these companies, there's no way you could have foreseen this over a decade ago when you're typing away at code and creating this stuff. So I do empathize with them to an extent, because I'm sure they created this monster and they don't know what to do. And it is a slippery slope where you start having bad content and fake news and all this stuff going out on the platform you created. But then, our rights, one of the things that makes America great is the freedom of speech. So now they've got to create some kind of algorithm that can do this work, because it'd be impossible to hire enough people to individually look at all these accounts and make a determination as to whether or not one is offensive and the other one's okay, and, do it without any type of bias. So thank God I don't have to wake up every day as those guys, as much as it'd be nice to be a freaking gajillionaire. Those are some big problems they got to figure out. But whatever they're doing with the algorithm, or whatever is making these judgment calls and then deciding to not have any kind of an appeals process, it's just unfair. And I know there's a bunch of people who are leaving the main platforms anyway. Again, the only reason I was on any of this was for business, because at the end of the day, it's a great way to market. Facebook's very powerful for marketing, and Google's very powerful for marketing. YouTube has been great as far as, being able to connect with that small group of meal prep people that are spread out all over the world. The small, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000, 1 in 100,000 people who are interested in starting meal prep business. It's been awesome at being able to get me to connect with you guys. And that's something I really appreciate. But the other side of it is, it's too big for them to manage on a personal level. And, I don't know. So in any case, if you don't see me on Instagram, I didn't block you. It's funny how many people have already noticed it. I've got 2 friends who are like, "Oh, I was about to share something with you. What happened to your Instagram? You got shut down on that too?" And I think they were joking around. And I was like, "Yeah." And I sent them a screenshot of Instagram. Let me pull up that screenshot. And it just doesn't give you a reason. Just like, "Hey, your account has been disabled. Your account has been disabled. Follow the next steps within 30 days so you can request a review." And they basically, that's the screenshot. I went in, clicked "I'm not a robot," got to pick out the crosswalks in the stupid picture that they have, the capture picture. And then they sent me a text, 6-digit code, sent that back. And then they said something to the likes of, "Thanks for providing your info. We'll be able to review your info. And if we can confirm it, you'll be able to request a review in the help center within approximately 24 hours. Awesome. Great. Thank God I'm not running a business or anything here. So yeah, my ads accounts, everything else. In the last post, some dude was worried about his Oculus account being shut down, because now if you have an Oculus, which is $300 to $400 gaming system, VR, that's through Facebook. And if they shut down your Facebook account, you now have a $300 to $400 paperweight. So people are going to lose trust in these companies. And I'm not saying that these guys are doing it maliciously, but at the end of the day, what's going on? This is making me very bitter towards them. And it's crazy times. I hope this is all election related. I hope after all this BS is solved that we can get back to focusing on positivity and coming together. I was trying to use social media as a platform to bring people together and focus on building their businesses, making their lives better. I don't see myself as a Tony Robbins or anything like that, but I am trying to put positivity out there. My whole thing is in life is positivity. I grew up with depression. I still have depression. But now the way I combat depression and I fight it is by being proactively positive and putting positivity out there in the world. And it helps me feel better about myself. And I've been loving my ability to leverage social media. And I think that it's got an amazing potential when used the right way. And I also understand that it's got amazingly destructive potential when used in the wrong way. But I think there's enough people out there that if us positive people are able to connect, we can smother the negativity. There is no source. There is no source of negativity. There is no source of darkness. When you walk into a room, I remember this one thing in church, and I don't want to get religious or anything, but this is a very good analogy. I remember they were talking about, the love of God, the love of Jesus. When it moves into you, it's a source of light. It's a source of positivity. And I think that we are all, regardless of what religion you believe in, I think it comes down to the fact that you probably believe that there's something bigger than us and we are a part of that. So regardless of whether you want to call it Allah or God or Jesus or whatever, Shiv Bhagwan and Vishnu and, all these other gods, I'm probably butchering the names and everything else. I'm forgetting a lot, but there is a source of positivity. When you flip on a light switch, darkness is immediately gone. That's how powerful positivity and light is. That's what I believe. That's what I've seen over and over in my life. The more positivity you put out and create from within you, the easier everything else becomes. Even in dark times, you're always able to create that light. So that's what I believe in. And the negativity that exists it's just a void of light. It's a lack of light. There's no source. There's no flip to turn on darkness. If you turn on a light, darkness is gone. There's nothing to combat that. There's not a darkness switch, Yeah, there's dark matter or whatever, and we can get into quantum physics and astrophysics and like all that fun stuff and black holes. But there's not a source. There's just a void. And those people who are putting out darkness, there's a void of lightness in their life. And with enough of us connecting and putting that out, we're able to eventually reach into those people. And by those people having an outlet to identify that they are dark people and they want to put out garbage, that just allows us to find out who is dark and who needs a light better. That's the way I look at it. Giving someone a platform where they can be transparent and tell you that they've got darkness in their life and they have dark thoughts, you can target them with positivity and show them love. Not meeting them with other darkness, because that's you creating more void of light. That's you making space for more darkness. When you combat somebody with, you don't believe the way I believe, so you're stupid, you're negative, I've got to fight you. No, you meet them with love, and eventually, they've got nothing to hit against. It's their ego protecting them because they have a void. Maybe it's the way they were brought up. They weren't loved right, whatever it was. Someone else raised them who had a lack of positivity in their life. And regardless of what happened, being able to find these people and being able to create an outlet where more people are able to get positivity out there, that's what I saw social media doing. I see so many positive people coming out right now, despite all this craziness that's going on in 2020. So many people are putting out positivity right now. And yeah, there's a lot of fake news and there's a lot of negativity, but I think the positivity is winning. If we don't have social media to use and leverage, that just creates more voids, and that just creates more space where, it's like a dark, damp room. There's all sorts of nasty mold and fungus and stuff growing in it. You need to combat it with light and fresh air. So got off on a little bit of a tangent there with my woo-woo stuff, but I'm going to go do something positive so I feel better about this. I'm going to reach out to somebody maybe I haven't spoken to in a while, and I'm going to let them know that I miss them and I appreciate them, and I'm glad that I have them in my life, and that will make me feel better. And I will just hope that Facebook and Instagram see the errors of their ways, and before my YouTube gets shut down. Man, crazy times. You guys have an amazing day, and watch what you do and say on, I can't even give you advice on what to do or not say because I wasn't doing anything. So I guess just good luck, be positive, regardless of what happens, just smile, roll with it. If they can't take your smile away from you, regardless of what they do, if they can't take your smile, they can't take anything.